Hello, how you doing? My name is Damilola Ajakaiye. Welcome to my equity contribution channel where I teach entrepreneurship to all nations. Yeah. So today we'll be looking at balancing inflation and deflation. Yeah. Inflation and deflation is not like politics where you just choose one candidate and stick to that candidate. No, how to balance these two, inflation and deflation. Inflation is the general increase or continuous increase, general continuous increase in prices of goods and services, in the price of commodities, while deflation is the continuous increase and decrease in prices of commodities, as goods and services. And the statistical way of measuring um, inflation and deflation is basically CPI, that's Consumer Price Index. But you know that, yeah, and the calculation is really accurate in terms of the mass and all that. Consumer Price Index is measuring the baskets or price of average prices of basket food and commodity baskets in the market in location over a period of time periodically. So like now, you go to the market, you sample, put some commodities or goods in a basket, and yeah, averagely that kind of thing. That's an example, anyways, a simple example. And you calculate, oh, this is the price, this is the price, this is the price, and you do your other calculations and get the value you get. But it might be accurate in terms of the mass and all that. No, average is usually right in terms of the mass. But you have to also look at perspective, the causes of such situation of inflation and deflation, and know how to solve and balance these two. Because if you choose one, on the long run, it won't work well. So you have to learn how to balance two at all times to cause stability, yeah, to cause economic growth and development, of course, on the long run. This inflation and deflation is a business cycle, is really, interrelated with business cycle uh, process and all that. So one has to really understand inflation, deflation properly. But the basic thing is when prices continue to increase non-stop, and deflation is when prices continue to decrease non-stop. Yeah. So it's good to balance this to when prices continue to increase non-stop, one group suffers, which the group is usually the consumers. They pay too much to get few goods or services, that kind of thing. So the consumers suffer. Why when prices continue to decrease, the entrepreneurs or the businessmen or the businesswomen and other, let's just say sellers, yeah, they tend to suffer it because few money is pursuing their goods, which will look as if it doesn't have value or it has little value. So one has to balance both sides. Now I always talk about negotiation. That's one of the things I said in the last video, and also the video about adjectives of a good entrepreneur. You have to know how to negotiate. Yeah, win-win. You know, don't force anything, but try to let your uh, buyer win, and also you buyers try to let your sellers win. So that nobody will be a arm robber in the situation. Anyway, so we have to look at perspective when it comes to inflation and deflation calculation and solving the issue. First, if you look at which CPI doesn't look at demographic trends. You look at the historical changes in population, in the long run. Yeah, I have to look at like now Japan that are using deflation, just deflation because of they have a older population. I know most times when they are mostly older population, the older population tend to have little money and they are majority. They tend to have little money, and that's deflation working seriously. Little money pursuing plenty quality goods. And maybe that's why a lot of African countries go there to go and buy Japanese products because they are quality and they are cheap because of their residents who are mostly the aged, very aged demograph and all that tend to not purchase a lot of these goods. So it causes deflation in the long run. Over 25 years now, they've been facing deflation. And what the solution to that? Try and balance this. If it's to outsource uh, or import a lot of youth into your country, a lot of youth, or do a lot of exports, a lot of exports, a lot of exports. You can use those to allow easy access. So far they are coming to do legal work there. Allow easy access for a lot of youth from other countries that like to leave their country to experience other places for good, of course. For legal business, for a lot of good things. Yeah. So you shouldn't be self-inflated that you won't open up because I don't really hear on the news about Japan, really relating with other nations. So that deflation will keep on going in the long run. So a way to balance inflation and deflation is to not be self-inflated. Let there be inflow and outflow of all kind of resources, human resources, product, goods, services, all those things. Capital, foreign exchange, all those things. There should be very good foreign exchange principles. And your legislatures are meant to really work on this in every nation. Legislature matters a lot. They are one of the strongest structure in a in an economy because they make the laws. Yeah, but a lot of these legislators don't really know their job and they really need to sit down and start making laws as structure changes or economic changes or inflation, deflation. Don't know how to change a lot of things, and that leads us to the next one, which is structural changes. You know, life is very dynamic. Yeah, there are a lot of innovations, there are a lot of political changes, environmental changes, economic changes. So as those changes are occurring, then the legislatures, senators, representatives of different parts of a nation are meant to adjust the laws according to those changes. Yes, and not just to accept anything the executive tell you. No, that is why there's different committees on different issues in the nation to sit down and think, with this change that happened, how can we adjust our laws? How can we adjust our constitution? How can we adjust this, that, our act? Yeah, state out of assembly, everybody, legislators have to really sit down and start looking at, oh, this is the situation now. What should we do about it? Let's pass this to law. You know, work with the executive, and Simple as that. Things will start moving well. It's not all about going there to collect big checks. So as technologies are coming up, there are innovations. There need to be proper tax laws, whether tax holiday, or put more tax in this, or reduce tax in this, you know, or give foreign investors, some holidays in tax, things like that. You just a lot of things will work well. And you see, this balancing inflation and deflation is all about adjusting interest rate or all that. Yeah, that's the core function of central bank. But you have to look at perspective also, and consumer behavior, that which is the next one I'm going to talk about. Consumer beliefs, feelings, perceptions, mindsets, psychology, thoughts matters a lot in inflation and deflation. It matters a lot. First of all, who even determine prices? And now, who determine prices? It's still you still consumers and producers or sellers and buyers are the one that determine price. Consumer behavior determine prices majorly. If a consumer decide not to buy from this person and sees another one cheaper, it can affect price. It's by the time that one that I went to first see that they has gone to buy from this one. And we have to, why are they not buying from me? We are just price. So one has to really look at consumer behavior, mindsets of thought, all those things. And that is one of the things economists look at, study consumer behavior very well, so that they can adjust some of these things. It's not all about the mass, as an entrepreneur, business person, or in government. You have to look at perspective also. Yeah. So when it comes to consumer behavior in curbing or balancing, yeah, balancing inflation and deflation, one has to assure or first, okay, let's say assure and ensure. There's something assure and ensure. Assure means that you are giving your uh, assurance, or your giving full hope. Hopefully, I always use hopefully because I hope a lot and it works out for me. You have to give full hope to the people in your economy. And also, you have to ensure that that hope is achieved, that you are giving. That's everything. Assure and ensure. Don't just assure, also ensure that assurance works at the end, or even in the middle, or even in the beginning. There's nothing wrong in succeeding from the beginning. They always tell us back then in school, your first class starts from your first day in school. Eventually, it was during my masters I almost made the first class anyways. Yeah. So you have to assure and ensure the stakeholders of your economy that economy will be stable. Why? Because if there is suspicion suspicion that there will be inflation, just know that there will be confusion. I didn't intend to rhyme, but it happened. There will be confusion. If there is suspicion, there will be inflation. Yeah. Look at, and that inflation might even happen. Look at Nigeria, for instance, when it was announced that fuel subsidy will be removed. What was the immediate uh, perception that came in? Inflation, increase in prices of fuel, increase in price of general goods and everything. And did it happen? Yes. and it caused a lot of confusion. So we are meant to learn how to ensure economic stability in every policy we make. Assuming this subsidy that was removed in Nigeria, fuel subsidy, the instead of the fuel subsidy removed, let the corruption in the fuel subsidy be removed, be handled. Like this subsidy paid to the refiners directly and not just withheld to distribute to household and all that, because most times in 1 week those monies or food are gone. So there are other ways of handling situations like that won't cause inflation, that all those things, continuous rises in prices. So also, on the other hand, okay, let me even talk more on that inflation. Imagine, even business people do it. Some business people do it a lot. They'll say, if a customer comes to their shop and wants to buy this biro now, some business people say, better buy it now, because in the future or in tomorrow, we are hearing that the price will be double, decreasing confusion and instability. You say a lot of people doing panic buying and all those things. Prices will keep increasing. When people see that this thing is finishing, prices will be increasing continuously, and inflation is already happening. So you see what I'm talking about. So ensure and assure um, stability all the time. Yeah. So having a call. Yeah. So ensure and assure stability, and also for in terms of deflation, that's continuous decrease in prices, ensure and assure there is no magnificent or too much decrease in prices, so that entrepreneurs and businessmen and women can have good value for their product, good profit, and they won't be making a loss, because when they are making a loss, business will be profitable for them, and they won't be able to improve economic growth, development, and the invisible, and and taxes won't be able to be paid. So let this to be balanced. So that's it on balancing inflation and deflation. Thank you for listening. uh, may you enjoy all the videos. If you want to watch again, this is the last on business administration. So the world face a lot, and one of the things is inflation and deflation. So balance the two, manage the demographic well, as I said, in terms of Japan, manage demographic, manage mindset, ensure and assure economic stability, both for buyers and sellers, entrepreneurs and buyers. Yeah. Then structural changes, how to manage structural changes. Legislators na get work plenty. So that's it all for business administration. You see more on more to come on other playlists. Thank you for following along, and may you enjoy a lot of prosperity. Bye. Yeah.